Hey guys, this is Adam, Moto USA. We're out here at Racetown 395 in Southern California with 4 brand new 2010 450cc motocross bikes. We're going to separate truth from fiction and find out which one of these bikes is the best around the racetrack.
After smoking the competition last year, the Kawasaki KX450F returns to the 2010 450 motocross shootout with durability and performance upgrades, including a new piston, reworked clutch, massaged chassis, and of course, a target on its back.
The Kawai's the fastest. It has like just the killer hard hitting fast motor, and when I rode at Kaweah Creek, which has big loamy berms and stuff, it just blew up berms and it was just so much fun to ride there, you know. And here, you know, that hard hitting gnarly power made it a little more difficult to ride because you know, because this track just didn't have a whole lot of traction, so it was almost, you had to be a little careful with all that power, you know.
I would vote that bike the easiest to get whiskey throttle on, especially if you're a little fatigued. And other than that, it was a little stiff. We had everything backed out as far as it would go, and I'm probably the lightest, or I am the lightest guy here. So stiff bikes are nothing new to me really, but it was definitely a little harsher than the other brands.
You know, overall the bike is really comfortable to ride. The seat's really good. It's easy to get up on the front end of the bike and get into the tight corners, and it was really stable as well. Yeah, the Kawai, you know, it was one of my top picks for sure.
Meet the new kid on the block, for us anyways, KTM's 450 SXF. The sole European 450 motocross entry comes prepared with a 5-speed transmission, lowered frame, and premium Brembo front brake caliper. It also has the distinction of being the only bike to offer electric start and a carburetor.
The 2010 KTM 450 was the surprise of the day out here at 395 track. It's got the easiest power delivery by far, totally controllable exiting turns. That really did surprise me, and the power delivery to the ground is amazing. As you're exiting a turn, it just hooks up better than any other bike.
You know, you feel like you could ride a gear high or a gear low and it still has enough power to get what you want done. It's definitely one of the faster bikes out there, and also ergonomically it's set up well for a tall guy. It's a you know, pretty big spread out chassis and stuff, but you know, nothing bulbous, nothing like stuck out or was weird. It's just kind of big and kind of a roomy bike.
Any type of person could jump on it and make it happen really. It was the easiest bike by far to ride. The shock stroke was a little harsh in the back, but it was actually one of the better bikes going through the whoops. Like the bigger whoops and, you know, on the power, that thing, the rear end, loved it. The forks on that bike are awesome. The front end's stuck to the ground the whole time. Probably the least twitchy of all the bikes.
The wheelbase seems like it's a little bit longer than some of the other bikes, so it tends to track really well through, you know, high-speed corners and long straightaways. You know, we have a pretty good rough whoop section that's really long, and the thing just tracks really nicely.
Despite having the fewest amount of changes for 2010, Honda's second generation CRF 450R features improved suspension and updated fuel and ignition maps, which complement the engine's retooled auto decompression system for easier starting.
It's a lot more refined this year than it was last year. A lot of changes are a lot better. It felt a lot more balanced than it did last year. Last year it felt like it was riding high in the back. It was a little sketchy on the straightaways. This year they balanced out the suspension better, brought the front end up a little bit, made the power a little bit more easy to use. Yeah, I like Honda a lot. You know, Honda's got a great reputation for durability and reliability, so yeah, with a day setting up the suspension, Honda could could win.
When I first got on the thing, it was scary to me. Like the rear end was kicking side to side, and like I was really uncomfortable with it. And the Honda, I would say, is very sensitive to suspension setup. You need to really pay attention to what you're doing and spend some time getting it dialed in, because once we made some changes and stuff, it worked a whole lot better for me. I felt a lot more comfortable, and it felt, you know, like it was sticking to the track a whole lot better.
Out of all the bikes you had to ride it the most aggressive, Hondas, for some reason, I've rode them almost my whole life, and they respond to a little, you know, the more you showed who's boss, the better it's going to work. And the bike was great. It's the best turning Honda I've ever rode.
The motor on it is awesome. You know, it's got good roll on, a lot of bottom. The brakes work really good. There's a really fast, high-speed straightaway corner right in the front here. You know, it's a tight right-hander, so you have to get on the brakes really hard if you come into it really hot, and the braking power on the front end works, you know, really good.
The words new and improved barely scratch the surface when describing Yamaha's revamped YZ450F. This machine employs the most changes for 2010, highlighted by the reversed and fuel-injected engine, weight-centralized chassis, and sleek new styling.
The first lap, I mean, I was so comfortable on the bike. It's really planted in the corners. It's got awesome power, a lot of over-rev in the motor. It's just a really neutral feeling, really well-balanced bike.
The power delivery on the Yamaha is very smooth and electric, and actually on a track like this, again with kind of limited traction, it worked really well. Like it always felt like it had like plenty of power to get where you wanted it to go, but the delivery was real smooth and kept the tire from spinning and things like that.
It was smooth, but still had a really strong mid-range pull to it, and thing turned almost on its own. You know, it was a great bike, super easy to ride.
The best, most innovative motorcycle I've ever ridden. It's got the most balanced suspension and the most powerful motor. The fuel injection is right there. It's just instant power. The centralized weight, you can really feel it, especially going into braking bumps. Like the bike would normally buck and pack down and buck you. This will just glide across the roughest part of the track. Easy to steer, right into the rut, out of the rut. It's the most confidence-inspiring motorcycle I've ever ridden. I just wish I had one.
Which one of these dirt bikes do you need in your garage? You'll just have to read the story to find out.
The KTM 450 was the third bike that I jumped on, and that plane's f***ing up the audio for sure.
It doesn't hit hard at all off the bottom, so it tracks really well through the corners. And then like once you get out of the corners, when it comes up on the pipe, it really has a good blast of power. It's like a real kind of meaty power band, and you know, you feel like you could ride a gear high or a gear low, and it still has enough power to get what you want done.